Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Captain Dar and tonight I'm continuing the Skyrim Special Edition. Picking up where I left off last time. First thing I'm gonna do is go read those books that What's-His-Face gave us. Okay, we've got Da Vinci's Journal. That's one of the Falmer ones. In Search of a Champion 1 and 2. Wish I could sort these by read and unread. Okay, so I'll just go down the list. Da Vinci's Journal. Entry 1. That's it, done. Leah and I are retired. No more contracts, no more blades in the dark, and no more sneaking about. Leah says I'll soon grow tired of a normal life, but I'm not sure. I think I've seen all the death I care to. Now it's time to settle down and spend some of the gold we've saved. So meet the new us, just an honest couple doing honest work. Entry 2. We've just bought a house in Riverhold. Life is good here. It's peaceful enough and quite pretty in its own way. Most of the locals are pleasant and far more accepting than we were expecting. It's a very cosmopolitan place with all the border trading that goes on. No one seems to mind the idea of an Argonian and a Khajiit living together. Our new home is next door to the town orphanage, and Leah keeps bringing it up in conversation. She wants a family. I'll be honest, the idea terrifies me. It is possible that a couple of trained assassins like us could be good parents. I don't know. Entry 3. I'm working a local mine and Leah just got a job at the orphanage. We went there yesterday. I think I'm going to be a father. We saw two little Khajiit boys that melted our hearts. They are supposedly twins, but one is golden and the other is an unusual shade of blue. Seeing Leah with the boys, I don't know, it just felt right. We discussed adopting them all night. She said that if it was only down to her, she'd go and collect them now. I told Leah I had to think about it, but I'm fairly sure my mind is made up. She's going to be an amazing mother. I love her more than words can say and can deny her nothing. I'll lock all our weapons in the basement and get to work on making the spare room baby-proof. Entry 4. We are now proud parents. We've named the boys Fergus and Inigo after our favorite former guildmates. The woman at the orphanage told us the little she knew of their past. A soldier found Inigo and Fergus in an abandoned shack about 50 miles from here. He heard them crying as he took shelter and discovered the boys wrapped in linen rags, half hidden in a pile of straw. The boys had a letter tucked between them. It was from their birth mother. We were shown the letter, but it was ragged and torn, so I asked if I could make a copy for posterity. It reads, Atala hopes you have found her children safe. They are twins, born only minutes apart, though as you can see they are unalike. What had been a pleasant day began to darken at the time of their birth, and I heard much wailing and commotion outside my tent. My first son came then, but by the time his little brother entered the world, the sky outside was like night. I held them in my arms, and it was as if their cries brought back the sun, for then the darkness lifted, and the voices outside rejoiced. I smiled and wondered if a third moon had appeared during my labor, as such a thing is said to signal the arrival of a main. Wishful Atala, stupid Atala, cursed Atala. There had been no third moon, only darkness. A few weeks later, my youngest sprouted his first blue hair, and his fate was decided. It has been nearly 100 years since the last bad moon omen, but upon seeing that tiny blue strand, our elder recognized its meaning. The village would suffer greatly unless my baby was put to death. Alas, Atala could not allow it. I can no longer trust the father of my children. The moons hold greater sway over his heart than we do. Our situation fills him with great sadness, but he is elder-born and wishes to appease Master and Secunda above all else. The night before the sacrifice, I heard a woman's voice speak, though no woman could be seen. The voice was fair but commanding. It said, Run, Atala. The way is clear. Take your babies and flee. I bundled up my little ones and snuck away into the desert. I have traveled many miles, but my people are tracking us and they grow close. They will have blood one way or another. I would rather it were mine. Earlier, the woman's voice spoke up again inside my head. She said, I must go now and draw our pursuers away from this place. She said, my children will be found here by one who can help them. As strange as it sounds, I believe her. Please take my darlings to safety, and when they are old enough to understand, tell them that Atala loves them still. Leah says that she has never heard of such a barbarically pious tribe in her homeland, but the existence of such people does not surprise her. There are stories of forgotten settlements that still thrive in isolation among the shifting sands. Atala must have hailed from such a place. Her plan worked, and now her boys are safe and loved. Leah and I will do our utmost to give them the best of everything. When they are old enough, we will tell the boys about their mother and what she endured to save their lives. It is a sad tale, and I am not sure if we will ever tell them absolutely everything. That is a worry for another day. Here and now they are happy, and they make us happy. Long may it last. Entry 5. Leah and I are just back from a job. I know, we're retired, but it was good to flex those old muscles again, and it was only a group of outlaws. The thugs had been terrorizing a village a few miles away, so we waited until dark, left the boys at the orphanage with one of Leah's co-workers, tooled up, and took care of business. By the hist, it felt good. I must admit my armor is getting a little snug, but it seems Leah and I are as good a team as ever. I love her so much. When we returned to the orphanage, Leah's friend led us to the basement where Inigo and Fergus were chasing spiders. They looked so adorable I had to draw them. Entry 6. We've decided to teach the boys how to handle themselves. I'm sure many would say they are too young for weapons, but it's a harsh world out there, and we both agree they'll be better off with a little training. Inigo instantly took a shine to archery, while Fergus seems to favor the sword. They both show great aptitude even at such a young age. I'm a very proud father. Fergus is already turning into a determined and thoughtful boy. Inigo has amazing reflexes and a sense of the absurd that often has the rest of us laughing even when we shouldn't be. Most importantly, the brothers are fiercely loyal. They often fight and squabble, but at the slightest hint of danger, they unflinchingly stand up for one another. When I am down the mine, the boys spend most of their days at the orphanage with Leah. It's sad, but you could say they never really left. Ah well, I see no harm, and they often cheer up the other children. Entry 7. Poor Inigo had a bite of trouble at the market today. Some local boys and girls were making fun of him because of his blue fur. Little hooligans. If he'd had his bow with him, I think he would have taught them a thing or two. If Fergus had been there, things could have gotten ugly. We don't want either of the boys seriously hurting anyone, so Leah showed them a few hand-to-hand tricks just in case things get rough. We adults often forget what a battleground childhood can be. I spoke to the parents of the boy who instigated the bullying. The father said his son wasn't responsible and called me a filthy lizard. Maybe this town isn't as open-minded as we first thought. Entry 8. Leah discovered Fergus and Inigo playing with our most precious weapons today. I have no idea how they got the display cases open. Luckily, Inigo is still too weak to draw lightning, and thunder is too heavy for them to wield. Can you imagine if either had discharged in the house? We locked the weapons away in a safer place. We have to keep an eye on those boys. Entry 9. Sadness and excitement today. Riverhold lost 3 people to a large group of migrating giant spiders. Leah and I knew we were the only ones capable of helping, so we strapped on our weapons and exterminated the beasts. To be honest, the boys did most of the work. They were eager to test their weapons on live targets, and I must say they did fantastically well. As the villagers hid in their homes, Leah and I dispatched about 10 of the beasts, then watched as Inigo and Fergus took care of the rest. They fought efficiently and with great zeal. Fergus became a quiet whirlwind of deadly steel as Inigo expertly loosed a storm of arrows and insults. That boy would joke on the gallows. They are young men now, and they are already talking about leaving Riverhold to seek their fortune. I would rather my children sought a more sedentary occupation, but they clearly wish to use their skill to help others who are less able. I'm confident that as long as they have each other, they will be safe. Entry 10. Our little boys are now men. It feels like only yesterday they were just fuzzy little bundles. Leah and I have agreed to let them travel the land in search of their fortune. They leave behind two extremely proud parents. We are gifting them our most prized weapons. Inigo will take lightning, Leah's bow. Fergus will take thunder, my sword. May they protect our children and strike fear into the hearts of all who oppose them. I better stop writing and help them pack. Dearest Fergus and Inigo, come back safe and happy. I miss you already. Entry 11. They are gone. Our boys, our sons, our greatest achievement. Leah and I are already growing restless, rattling around this empty house. Everything is the same, but everything is changed. They will return in a few years, and I cannot wait to see the men they will surely have become. Until that day, we'll keep the fire stoked and their rooms ready. Entry 12. A courier brought us news from the boys today. It's been over a year since they last sent word. They are well and happy. They say they have had many adventures and are now heading to Cyrodiil. They have caught the traveling bug and want to see as much of Tamriel as they can before coming home. I'm so glad they are all right. The letter has put us in a fantastic mood. Leah and I went to the inn and had a few drinks. We spent most of the night toasting our boys repeatedly. They are happy, they are safe, and they are together. All is well. Entry 13. We haven't heard from Inigo and Fergus in a long time, but I'm sure they're okay. There is a lot of world out there to explore. Let them have their fill of it before returning. They are not the only ones who feel the call of the road. Leah and I are growing tired of our inactive lifestyle. Perhaps we can go on a little trip of our own, something with a bit of risk and adventure. It has been far too long. Entry 14. Adventure has found us. I can't wait to hit the road again. A trading caravan passed through town today and they were looking for guards. It's perfect. A bit of travel, a bit of adventure, and who knows, we may even bump into Fergus and Inigo. We join the group tomorrow. Leah is choosing her armor at the moment. I think we should each take a light and heavy set. It sounds like we could be passing through bandit territory. Nothing we can't handle, I'm sure. Leah is calling me. I had better get my things together. Okay. In Search of a Champion 1. Volume 1 by Langley Longseer. Dreams. Ever since I was a child, I've had the gift of foresight. At the age of 6, I awoke from a dream in which I saw our cattle being slaughtered by a group of monstrous beasts, all slashing claws and ripping teeth. I could smell the thick metallic stench of blood as I awoke screaming. My father led me outside to prove that our livestock were safe. They were all there at the bottom of the field, alive and well. We went back indoors. I was fussed over, reassured, and then tucked back into bed. Early one morning, about a week later, my father found our whole herd slaughtered. They had been killed by a pack of giant wolves. The entire field was red with cow's blood. I soon learned to listen to my dreams, and for many years my gift has served me well. Specifics are often frustratingly hazy, but if I have a vision, it almost always comes to pass, unless I somehow intervene. I've had countless visions over the years, but there is one that has outlasted all the rest. Since I was a young man, my sleep has been plagued by a persistent nightmarish apparition. I have named this being the Doomstrider because in my dreams it brings anguish, grief, and pain wherever it walks. I have decided to dedicate my life to finding the one person my dreams tell me can vanquish this great evil. The Doomstrider. In my dreams, a hateful, shadowy figure strides through our lands, casting all asunder. I see Tamriel transformed to a tortured ruin. I see thousands of innocent lives destroyed. I hear screams of agony, the weeping of children, and the hopeless pray to gods that can no longer intervene. This is not a mere nightmare, it is a vision. How long do we have before this thing, this agent of annihilation, appears? I know not. All I know is that there is one who can help us. There is still hope. The champion. In my dreams I see a champion unlike any other, a Khajiit that should not be. He escaped death in his first year and has been successfully eluding it ever since. He is bold and fierce, but also kind and loyal. Like all Khajiit, his appearance was decided by the moons at his birth, but he is the product of an extremely rare celestial alignment. The heavens have gifted him bluish fur, great strength, sharp eyes, and according to my visions, the power to destroy the Doomstrider. I must find the champion before it is too late. Progress. The dreams are more frequent than ever, but I think I'm making progress. I procured a traveler's journal that may describe our champion's place of birth. In the Khajiit homeland, there is a tiny village, completely cut off from the modern world. The birth of a blue Khajiit is significant in their folklore. Every 200 years or so, a child is born who turns blue a few weeks after birth. The appearance of a blue baby is seen as a bad moon omen, and these bloodthirsty zealots sacrifice the infant as soon as they get their first blue hair. I can only assume that the champion in my vision somehow escaped his fate. Maybe he was smuggled away by a family member. I'll travel to elsewhere and visit every settlement in the vicinity of the village. Maybe I'll get lucky. Our hero has a name. Inigo. His name is Inigo. After many months of travel, my search has led me to the town of Riverhold. Apparently there was a blue Khajiit here, but he left to seek his fortune years ago. He and his brother were abandoned at the orphanage and later adopted by a local couple. This all happened a long time ago. Inigo and his brother are likely grown men by now. Alas, his parents recently left town with a trading caravan. I must speak with them. I'll follow their trail and see if they know where their son is. From what I've heard, his foster parents are strange but pleasant people. I'm sure they'll help me if they can. Inigo's brother is called Fergus, and Inigo's mother is called Leah. Oddly, his father is Argonian. His name is Da Vinci. Tragedy. I found the trading caravan this morning among a litter of corpses. It has been ransacked. Everyone is dead. Damned bandits. The filthy thieves paid a price, though. At least 16 of their number were killed in the attack. I wept when I found Leah and Da Vinci. They died holding hands, heads resting brow to brow. Poor Inigo and Fergus don't yet know the tragedy that has befallen them. At least they have each other. I found Da Vinci's journal by the side of the road. Its pages hold so much love for his wife and sons. I will find a quiet spot, dig a grave, and lay the valiant couple to rest, away from the crows and rats. May they find peace and joy in the afterlife, and may they hold hands for eternity. Inigo is the one. I am certain Inigo is the champion I have dreamed of. I returned to Riverhold and passed on the news about Leah and Da Vinci. The townsfolk were both saddened and shocked. They have no idea where Fergus and Inigo are, but word has been sent through what conduits exist in the hope they will be found. Since returning here and telling the tale of how I discovered and buried their parents, the locals have been more forthcoming with tales of Inigo's past. It seems he and his brother became heroes here in their teens. The town was overrun by a swarm of migrating giant spiders, and 3 people died. When everyone else cowered in their homes, the boys and their parents ended the rather nasty insect infestation with ease. Da Vinci's journal backs this up. People say that it was Inigo that led the charge and that he killed 15 of the beasts by himself, laughing all the while. I can't wait to meet him. All I know is that he and Fergus were headed to Cyrodiil. Maybe I'll strike out in that direction and try my luck. Alright, In Search of a Champion, Volume 2. Inigo and Blowaft? I just stopped in a little village on the border, and it seems that the brothers came through this way a few years ago. Inigo and Fergus are making a name for themselves. It seems that for quite some time the village had been terrorized by a giant known by the locals as Blowaft the Flatulent, for reasons you can imagine. Inigo and Fergus heard about this while renting a room for the night. Apparently a patron heard them talking. Inigo said, "I've never seen a giant before." Then Fergus replied, "Well, deal with it. We'll deal with it tomorrow. It's late." Inigo said, "Go get your beauty rest then. I'll take care of the giant." Fergus nodded and said, "Fair enough. Yell if you need me." Then Inigo patted his brother on the shoulder and walked out. Fergus downed his ale and went to bed. An hour or so passed, then Inigo staggered in, dragging something heavy. He was grinning ear to ear. "I've brought you a souvenir, barkeep." He heaved the giant's club onto the bar. Everyone gasped. "He's only slightly less smelly dead, so I'd bury him first thing in the morning if I were you," said Inigo. Everyone cheered and laughed, and the innkeeper mounted the club above the bar. After a lot of negotiation, I managed to convince him to sell me the club. It's wonderful to have something he touched. It makes me feel closer to him somehow. He killed his first giant single handed. Inigo and Fergus are obviously as tough as they come. Inigo and the Witches of Glamour. I followed a lead to the town of Anvil, where I have discovered more evidence of the brothers and their daring deeds. Apparently, they passed through here a year ago and ended the lives of a group of treacherous hags that had been seducing the local men, then sacrificing them. Inigo and Fergus rescued a man from the witches' table, and he was quite happy to tell me his tale. He said that two Khajiit men, one broad and golden, the other wiry and bluish purple, snuck into the cave where he was being held. The hags were in a hide tent at the far end of the cave, noisily preparing a beastly incantation of some sort. Golden Khajiit, Fergus, I assume, crept to the far end of the tent, sword in hand. Inigo readied his bow and waited in the shadows. Fergus raised a hand to Inigo. Inigo nodded, then loosed an arrow. It tore a hole in the tent, and there was a horrible scream from within. A witch ran out wielding a dagger. Fergus decapitated her and called out, "Join us, ladies. You have two new suitors here. We are ready to take you out." There was a lot of angry yelling from within the tent. Then the witches burst out, spewing fire and ice from their hands. The poor man, strapped to a sacrificial table, watched in terror as a mighty battle began. He saw Fergus take the heads off two more witches, then raise his shield as a massive gout of flame erupted from the hands of a third. Inigo put an arrow through the hag's eyes. His brother's shield disintegrated. Fergus tossed the melting hunk of metal away and ducked as Inigo shot a witch behind him. Apparently the brothers fought as if they had one mind. The man said it was like watching a beautiful dance, but with more screaming and blood. Soon the witches of Glamour all lay dead. The brothers laughed and hugged. They freed the man, looted the cave, and went on their way. After hearing this story, I ventured to the cave where it all took place and found the remains of the witches. I took their heads, yet more evidence that Inigo is indeed real and the champion I seek. Inigo and Browolf the Broad. I'm so close. I just received another Inigo artifact from my growing collection, the helm of a barbarian called Browolf the Broad. My continued search for Inigo and Fergus has led me north to a small unmarked settlement in the mountains that border Skyrim. The brothers were here 2 months ago. This Browolf character had been in charge for a year. He was fierce and mighty and utterly insane. He and his crew enslaved the locals and forced them to dig a mine. He was convinced that the village lay on an ebony deposit. He had the men and women serve him in 1,000 horrid ways when they were not digging. They say that one day a local boy tripped while bringing Browolf a cup of mead. The brute reached out his slab-like arms and ripped the poor boy's head from his shoulders. One day two Khajiit warriors came to town. They were greeted by one of Browolf's men at the gate. On seeing Inigo's unusual coloring, the thug laughed, jeered, and pointed. Fergus drew his sword in a blur and amputated the man's leg in a flash. "Next time you mock my brother, I'll remove your head. Do we have an understanding?" said Fergus. The man nodded, wept, and whimpered as the remains of his leg spurted blood onto the snow. Inigo stepped forward into the village. "We have heard tales of the great misery you bullies have inflicted on the rightful owners of this land," he shouted. "Run and live, or stand and die." A group of Browolf's men drew their swords but did not advance. They obviously liked their legs. Browolf heard the commotion and stepped out of his hut. He was tall and possessed the bulky breadth of a giant. His legs and arms were like tree trunks. His chest was like a brewery barrel, and his head was the size of a cooking pot. "What's all this? Everyone get back to work," he yelled. The locals all dropped their heads and hurried away. Fergus spoke up. "I am guessing you are the reason the people here scurry like mice?" Browolf laughed. "Yes, and you had better scurry back the way you came, little kitty, unless you want to work my mine with the rest." Inigo drew his bow and addressed the retreating townsfolk. "Worry not, good people. This smelly pile of dung is about to give his last order." Browolf's face turned red with rage. "Kill them," he shouted. Fergus readied his sword and yelled, "If you have no affiliation with this brute, get indoors. We have no quarrel with you." People ran and doors slammed. Frightened faces peered through windows. Brolwolf's men advanced. There were at least 20, but after Inigo and Fergus made short work of the first 10, the rest fled. Brolwolf was furious and rushed at the brothers, wielding a massive axe. Fergus rolled out of the way, and Inigo put an arrow into the huge man's helm. This normally would have ended things, but Brolwolf was as solid as a rock, and he kept coming. Fergus slashed at the huge man's arms and legs, but no wound went deep. There was just too much bone and muscle in the way. Inigo advanced, aiming for the eyes, but the barbarian kept his head down as he fought Fergus, and he only succeeded in peppering Brolf's helm with arrows. A massive hand shot out and took Fergus by the throat. It lifted him off the ground and squeezed. Inigo dropped his bow, drew his sword, and ran to his brother's aid. With flagging strength, Fergus drove his blade into the crook of Brolf's neck. Inigo ducked a flailing axe blow, jumped on the brute's back, and stabbed his sword under Brolf's jaw. Suddenly Fergus was free. Brolf dropped his axe and fell to one knee. His gigantic hands groped for the two blades that now pierced his neck. Fergus rushed forward again and grabbed the hilt of his sword. In perfect unison, Inigo and Fergus withdrew their swords and swung them in opposite arcs. The blades rose, winked briefly in the sunlight, then hurtled down again. They collided at the point where Brolf's massive head met his massive neck, cleaving the two asunder. The brothers fell back into the snow, panting and laughing. The villagers rejoiced. They were finally free from tyranny. Inigo and Fergus set off south some time later. I have Brolf's helm beside me as I write this. It cost a pretty penny, but it was worth it. I'll continue my travels tomorrow. It looks like I'm going south. I met a murderer. I met a farmer on the road to Skingrad yesterday. When I asked if he had seen a couple of warrior Khajiit recently, he laughed and said, "We took care of those thieving cutthroats a few days ago." Shocked, I asked him to explain. He said that two Khajiit men had been stealing from the local farms and villages for weeks. After finding their camp, the farmer and a group of his mates crept up and attacked the thieves in their sleep using muffle scrolls they bought in town. He said they killed one, but the other got away. Doubt he'll be showing his face around here again. Though I explained that the Khajiit men I was looking for were not thieves. He said, "All Khajiit are thieves." Distressed, I asked the farmer to show me the camp. I found Fergus, dead and gore-streaked, under a collapsed and torn tent. I knew it was him instantly. He looked vital, dynamic, and regal, despite the dried blood clinging to his golden fur. I have never felt such outrage, pain, and sadness. The farmer clearly saw a change come over me and stepped back. "You fool," I shouted. "This man was a hero, both noble and brave. He was no thief. By the gods, what have you done?" The farmer took a step back. "He was a filthy Khajiit, nothing more." I felt my sadness turn to anger. Tears blurred my vision as I glared at the fool. He took another step back. "He was a scoundrel and a thief. Good for nothing. No use getting upset." Before I knew what I was doing, my hands had taken charge and engulfed the farmer in a torrent of fire. I watched him burn and scream as flame leapt from my palms. I have never before now used my magic against a person. I still feel sick, but Fergus deserved better than to die at the hands of a group of witless, racist inbreds. I would have immolated every last one of them if they had been standing there before me at that moment. I cleared the ragged remains of the tent away and knelt by Fergus. I held his cold golden hand. "You saved Inigo, didn't you?" I whispered. "Where did he go, Fergus?" I dug a grave nearby and laid the brave warrior to rest. I looked around for his sword, but it was gone, probably taken by one of his killers. There was no sign of Inigo anywhere. At least he survived the attack. I only hope his grief has not led him astray. I must find him soon. I will stay at the camp tonight and see if I am visited by a new vision. Oh, Inigo, you are not as alone as you feel. Nothing. It has been years since I found Fergus, and I am no closer to locating Inigo. It is as if he dropped off the map. My visions of the Doomstrider are less frequent, so perhaps the death of Fergus somehow changed our destiny. I know not. I have settled back in Skyrim for now. I have paid a small group of adventurers to seek out and acquire any artifacts and information relating to Inigo. So far, none have returned. I have also employed the services of a powerful conjuration mage. He is hard at work in the Imperial City trying to create a summon spell that will hopefully teleport Inigo straight to me when cast. The mage assures me such a spell is possible, but will only work if the caster is a true friend of the summoned individual. I told him that I am the only true friend Inigo has left. Unfortunately, the incantation will take some time to prepare. A nightmare. I had a horrific dream last night. Inigo was trapped in a vast dark chamber. He was bleeding badly and surrounded by Draugr. He fought them off and fled up a spiral staircase, but there was someone else there, a wizard who wasn't quite as lucky. Where did the dream take place? It looked like Skyrim, but I can't be sure. Damn it, I need that spell. Hope. Thank the gods, Inigo is indeed still alive. In my latest dream, I saw him leaving Windhelm carrying a dragonfly in a jar. He looked tired and ragged, but he's out there somewhere. With age, his fur has begun to take on rather a mauve hue. Time changes us all, I suppose. When I started this book, I had a thick beard of black hair. I saw Inigo save a farmer from a frost troll. The farmer thanked him and offered him gold, but Inigo ignored the gesture and plodded away. Where is he heading? My vision ended shortly after he reached a fork in the road. Did he travel forward towards Riften or Whiterun? I'd set out in search of him immediately if the summon spell wasn't due any day now. Blast. Swindler. The spell arrived today and it is worthless. I have tried reading the tome 100 times and it does nothing. Well, not quite nothing. It vibrates gently, then slams shut. That conjuration mage is a swindling con artist, and I want my money back. I will keep trying nonetheless. Perhaps I can force it to work somehow. By the gods, that charlatan is going to pay. I may not know much about conjuration, but I can kick a fellow in the crotch as well as the next man. Okay.
Yes, my friend.
Any thoughts?
I am thinking I am relieved we got to the bottom of my mind problem.
Let's see. Mind if I ask you something?
Ask away.
Tell me about yourself.
I'm pretty handy in a fight, even if I do say so myself. A
Anything
witch
else?
once turned me into a dragonfly. I got better.
Alright.
Okay,
Well,
let us get back to it.
what time is it? 8:20 a.m. Alright. Well, I guess for now, go back to what we were doing. Uh-oh. Thought it was gonna crash on me. Okay, we were on our way to Felglow Keep. That screaming goat. There's a peacock over there.
Who do you think would win in a fight? A dragon? Or 1,000 angry chickens? Now that's a fight I'd pay to see.
My money is still on the dragon. Right, let's try this again. Weren't gone long enough for bears or anything to respawn, but there might be something going on over here. Mammoth killing a saber cat. Two saber cats. Oh god, don't kill me. Didn't do anything. Let's not attack the mammoth, you guys. Dragon versus 1,000 exploding chickens. That would make the computer...
I feel safe when you are around. It is nice to know that someone capable has my back.
I'm sure that would make the game shit itself. 50 was my limit for the old Skyrim. I don't know what it is for this. Right, I'm gonna try to take out the flame astronaut first. If I can see it. There you are. Oh, don't push me. Direct hit. Alright, you guys. Oh god. Sorry, Inigo. Please don't be mad at me now.
You will not live to regret that.
Okay. Where did the corpse go? Right, let's... that. Anything useful in there? Not really.
Huh? What is it?
guys can come in. There's a spider, and you go get it.
Where'd you come from?
Must have scared them off.
More flour. Damn it, I need more butter. Why is there never any butter anywhere? Book I don't have yet. Chances Folly. Song of Pelennor Volume 2. Okay. Other side of that.
Foos!
What was that?
Right, what should we do with the vampires? More flour. Why does it sound like I'm underwater? This might get a little squirrely with that many followers, but we'll see.
Is someone there? East!
Damn it.
Die! Is that all of them? Maybe the clans have it right. Hunting's so chancy. Why not keep a few thralls? Blood whenever you want it.
That's weird. Well. Why of all the corpses did she pick the vampire one? Another book. 2920 Sun's Disc Volume 11. Okay. Kiss Sweet Mother. I don't remember how many books there are. I think somewhere close to 300.
Just let me out of here. I only wanted to help you.
What? Why does it look like I'm underwater again? I didn't do anything. I might need to close the game and start again. Maybe quick load? Alright, that looks better.
Please, please let me out of here. You have to let me out. They're going to do something awful to me. There's a lever right there in the center. Hurry, before more of them show up. Don't leave me here.
So you're Orthorn?
Yes, yes. Did Archmage Arin send you? He sent you to rescue me, didn't he?
I'm here to rescue you and recover the books you stole.
See? I knew Arin wouldn't leave me in here. Hurry and get me out of this cage before they come for me.
Why are you in this cage?
They threw me in here until they were ready to use me in one of their experiments. This wasn't supposed to happen. I thought they wanted my help, not to use me as a test subject.
Is there a key for this cage?
I don't have
Oops.
it. Please, let me out of here. No, it's the levers in the center there. Just make sure you don't pull the wrong one. Please, hurry. I don't like being in here. Don't leave me here.
Right. this work? Damn it. Oh, didn't go through the door. Okay.
Thank you. I promise I'll help. And then I'll go back to the college and I'll beg them to let me back in.
Now where are the books?
Yes, of course. I said I'd tell you, didn't I? The caller will have them. She was most interested in one of the volumes. Although not interested enough to keep me from being locked up. Oh, you've saved me. Thank you so much. Who knows what they'd have done to me if you hadn't come along? I promise I'll help you get out of here. Until next time.
And begin. Again. Good. We'll take a short break, and then move on to wide area destruction spells.
Damn it. This is what we were born to do. Depressing.
That vampire's already dead. And we got Legend of Red Eagle. Already have that one. And Red Eagle Sword. Okay. I had not started that one yet. Leave no vampires alive. And City of Stone.
The Undercroft is ahead. Necromancers. Be careful. I hope if there aren't any more.
Yo!
What was that?
That'll teach you.
You try not to get yourself killed this time either. That was all of them. Don't want Ray's zombie. Dunmer of Skyrim. Still, let's see, what is my alchemy at anyway? Should have been grabbing all that stuff.
Yo!
Oh shit.
You are nothing but a bad memory.
Doors of Oblivion. think there would be more useful stuff in here, but maybe not. Tried to turn the lighting up just a little bit, but it doesn't seem to have made much difference. Role slaying.
library is just through here. We're getting close now. Never should have come here.
It's slicing.
Done and done.
Strawberry egg. These strawberry eggs were created by the Caldera Mages Guild in an attempt to alleviate the food shortage after the eruption of the Red Mountain during the Fourth Era. And that one... Items enchanted are 30% stronger for 90 seconds. Alright. Wow, she's got a lot of health. Alright. Anything I care about over here? Oh, there was some alchemy ingredients. Hard to see anything. Okay.
Why did I ever come here? Didn't want those leather strips.
too far. Up.
Huh? Why did I ever come here?
I don't know, Orthorn. You tell me. Sweet roll. Okay.
I've got to get out of here. Watch what you're doing.
Why, there's so much junk laying around already. Huh. Oops.
So you're the one who barged into my home and laid waste to my projects. How nice to meet you.
Who are you?
Names no longer matter. You may refer to me as the Caller. Now, do you have a reason for making such a mess?
I'm here for the books from the college.
So you're just one of Arin's lackeys. That's disappointing. You show real promise. You come here, kill my assistants, disrupt my work. You've annoyed me, so I don't think I'll be giving you anything.
Let me leave with the books and there won't be any more trouble.
Fine. Take them and be gone. Never return here, or else you'll face my full wrath.
Stupid scammers. One tried to call me just now. First 3 digits of the number got a declined call. Scammers are the worst. Fragment on Arteum. And Night of Tears. And the last king of the Aliads. happens if I talk to her again.
You have what you came for. Now leave.
Right. Guess I have to find another way out. Or I could try pickpocketing the key from her, but... Well, Orthorn didn't get himself killed this time, I think. Where did he go?
Do you know where you are going, my friend?
I think so. There's a door somewhere. There we go.
I hear you found some thing in Sartor. You think it could help make me a powerful mage?
Let's see if there's anything else out here worth taking.
This thing from Sartor, what does it do? Jazarko cannot say.
Well, we'll find out. Hey, there's goldfish in here too. Ah, I didn't want the salmon. Alright, I'll come back to that later. I think I will dump off some stuff. Who's that? Her corpse ended up way over here somehow. Okay. Five more books. 1, 2, 3. I haven't looked at that one yet. 4. Oh, not that one. 5. Good enough. Get rid of some of my potions. Don't need those. Right, that's good enough. What time is it? 3 a.m. 4 a.m. See how far we get before we hear from Langley again.
You are taking us somewhere warm, I trust.
Not anytime soon, probably.
Enchanting services are one of the few things that keep us in touch with the rest of Skyrim.
The Archmage believed it important. It must be powerful.
We don't know that. We don't even know what it is. Where is Arin anyway?
In his quarters with that Thalmor on Kano. Something urgent, it sounded like.
All right, that's enough. Let's return to our business, please.
What do you want?
Rude. Here are the books that went missing.
Well, well. And you seem to be in one piece. Thank you. I'll look these over and inform Mirabelle if I find anything relevant. Night of Tears, eh? I remember this one. Well, isn't that interesting? Did you read it yourself? If I recall it correctly, that has some interesting implications. You should mention that to Toldir. And here. I suppose you've earned these. All right, then.
Good to see Skyrim still has such fine people. You give an old man hope.
Urag suggested I come see you.
Did he now? Does he have information about our wonderful discovery?
There's a book he thinks you should read.
Ah, yes. Well, I'll be sure and stop by the Arcanium later. I just can't seem to tear myself away. Whatever this is, its beauty is like nothing I've ever seen before. If you'd allow me to indulge myself for a moment, I thought I might make a few observations. I'm sure you've already noticed the markings. They're quite unlike anything we've seen before. Haliod, Dwemer, Daedric, not even Falmer. None of them are a match. Quite curious indeed. Now, I'm not sure that you're quite as attuned as I am, given my extensive...
If anyone sneaks up on us, I'll smell them coming.
This marvelous object. It practically radiates magicka. And yet it's unlike anything I've felt before. Archmage Aaron is already hard at work, and hopefully we'll have more information soon.
I'm afraid I must intrude. It is urgent that I speak with your associate immediately.
This is most inappropriate. We're involved in serious research here.
Yes, I've no doubt of its gravity. This, however, is a matter that cannot wait.
Well, I'm quite sure I've never been interrupted like this before. The audacity. I suppose we'll continue this at some later time, when we can avoid interruptions.
I need you to come with me immediately. Let's go.
I don't understand what's going on.
Really? Well, allow me to clarify the situation. I'd like to know why there's someone claiming to be from the Psijic Order here in the college. More importantly, I'd like to know why he's asking for you, specifically. So we're going to go have a little chat with him and find out exactly what it is he wants.
Why are you so concerned about this?
I'll be the one asking the questions. All you need to know is that the Psijic Order is a rogue organization, believing themselves to be above the law. They have clashed with the Old Mary Dominion before, and I have no intention of allowing that to happen here. Now, you are going to speak to this monk and find out why he is here, and then he will be removed from college grounds.
Don't know why he decided to go that way. And we're kind of trapped in here. Alright.
What you learn here will last you a lifetime. Several if you're talented.
It is good to meet you in person.
What's going on? What happened to everyone?
I'd simply like to talk to you. I've given us a chance to speak privately, but I'm afraid I can't do this for long. We must be brief. The situation here at your college is of dire importance, and attempts to contact you, as we have previously, have failed. I believe it is due to the very source of our concern. This object, the Eye of Magnus, as your people have taken to calling it. The energy coming from it has prevented us from reaching you with the visions you have already seen. The longer it remains here, the more dangerous the situation becomes. And so I have come here personally to tell you it must be dealt with.
If this is dangerous, then why don't you do something about it?
I'm afraid it's not that simple. You must understand the Psijic Order does not typically intervene directly in events. My presence here will be seen as an affront to some within the Order. As soon as we have finished, I will be leaving your college. I'm all too aware that my arrival has aroused suspicion, especially in Onkano, your Thalmor associate. Nevertheless, my Order will not act directly. You must take it upon yourself to do so.
So what exactly is the problem?
As you may have learned, this object, the Eye, is immensely powerful. The world is not ready for it. If it remains here, it will be misused. Indeed, many in the Order believe it has already. Rather, something will happen soon, something that cannot be avoided.
I'll help, but I don't know what to do.
Unfortunately, the future is as obscure to us as it is to you. The overwhelming power of the Eye makes it difficult for us to see. I fear I have already overstepped the bounds of my order, but I will offer this. Seek out the Augur of Dunlane here in your college. His perception may be more coherent than ours.
Who's the Augur of Dunlane?
He was once a student here at the college. Now he is something different.
Where can I find this Augur?
I am unsure. He is somewhere within the college. Surely one of your colleagues must know his location. I am sorry I cannot provide you with further help, but this conversation requires a great deal of effort on my part. Now, I'm afraid I must leave you. We will continue to watch over you and guide you as best we can. It is within you to succeed. Never forget that.
I'm sorry.
Well,
Were you about to
what
say
is the meaning
something?
of this?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't understand.
Don't play coy. You asked to see a specific member of the college. Here she is. Now what is it that you want?
There's been a misunderstanding. Clearly I should not be here. I shall simply take my leave.
What? What trickery is this? You're not going anywhere until I find out what you're up to.
I am not up to anything. I apologize if I have offended you in any way.
We will see about this.
I'm not sure what happened. A monk from the Sijic Order. Here after all these years, and then he just leaves. I hope we didn't offend him somehow.
What did the Sijic want?
Beyond asking for you, he never said. Very strange indeed.
Have you ever heard of the Augur of Dunlane?
Has Tolfdir been telling stories again? I thought I made it quite clear that this was a subject inappropriate for conversation. Please, don't allow him to continue to discuss the subject. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Wolfdeer still in here? Don't think so.
If you have a moment, could you help me with something? I still need some help, if you can spare the time.
What do you need help with?
We're all trying to become better mages, right? Well, I
Where'd she
need
go?
someone I can practice a few spells on. Nothing dangerous, really. Would you be willing to assist me?
Can't you practice on yourself?
No, not that kind of spell. Believe me when I say I wouldn't be asking if it weren't necessary.
What's in it for me?
Well, I simply thought you might wish to help out one of your fellow mages. If that's not enough, I suppose, I have this amulet you could take.
Okay, I'll help.
Oh, good. I was afraid I'd have to go ask J'zargo. Now, you just stand there.
Uh-oh.
Please hold still, and don't move. There. Now
Uh-oh.
Oh dear. That wasn't supposed to happen. Do you feel all right? You look very, green. I am so very sorry. I went over this again and again, and I was sure it would have better results.
What did you do?
I'm not really sure. I think it's just a minor miscalculation on my part. I'm sure it will wear off soon. When it does, you'll be perfectly fine, and then we can try again. In the meantime, I'll see about figuring out what went wrong.
Have you ever heard of the Augur of Dunlane?
Huh? That sounds ominous. Are you getting yourself into even more trouble? Did you ask Mirabelle? She runs things around here after all.
Cesargo continues to struggle with words. You have time to practice?
Maybe later. I'm sort of busy now.
Cesargo understands. You hesitate because you know Cesargo will be better than you. Very well.
Everything
Still no
looks
word
green.
from your family?
No, and I'm not expecting any.
Really? That must be so nice. I came all the way to Skyrim just to get away from my family's expectations.
My family didn't really approve of me coming here at all.
Oh, well that's awkward. Sorry to have brought it up.
It's always encouraging to see the younger generations embracing education.
Have you ever heard of the Augur of Dunlane?
Well now, there's a name I haven't heard in some time. My goodness, it's been years since I've spoken with him. I suppose he's still down in the Midden, but I haven't checked. Are you going to see him? Do tell him hello for me, won't you?
Where's the Midden?
Underneath the college. It's not the nicest place, so if you go down there, please do be careful.
Can you tell me more about the Augur of Dunlane?
Well, I suppose he wouldn't mind. It was all before my time, you understand. I've heard the stories, the same as anyone else. He was a brilliant student, an accomplished wizard, delved into magic in a way none had seen before. But I think he became too focused on just how much power he could acquire. That's what led to the accident.
What accident?
Do you remember what I first told you? About how not being able to control magic could destroy you? I didn't simply mean it could kill you. The Augur's accident is another very real type of a life destroyed. Well, it's been described as an accident. I can't imagine it was intentional. Something must have gone wrong, and he ended up in the state he's in now, fused to the energies that flow through the college. I've never felt it appropriate to ask him about it, about how that must feel. Or I suppose, if he can feel at all.
Why is the Sigil Order contacting me?
I have no idea, but it's fascinating. Assuming it's true, of course. The Isle of Artaeum disappeared over 100 years ago, and no one has seen them since. And yet now, suddenly, they've chosen to contact you. Why, it's intriguing. If nothing else, I'd take it as a compliment. The Sijics have only ever dealt with those they feel worthy. All right, then.
Right, how long is this gonna last? I don't think I've ever done that before.
Something troubling you?
Any thoughts?
I'd be scared to sleep here with so many experiments going on. What if I woke as something unnatural? Okay, let us get back to it.
I have... Yes, good. Going to Mazolft and I can grab all the dwarven metal again.
Yo! Show it!
Shit. Let's look at something. Oh, it doesn't even show up as anything. Okay. I don't know how long this effect lasts. I don't like it, it's weird.
Yo! Show it!
That'll teach you to cross me.
Good job, Desargo. If I can... No, I can't reach that.
There is no help for you here.
Huh?
There is no solace in knowing what is to come.
What I do? I never heard that before.
Your perseverance will only lead to disappointments. Still, you persist. Very well. You may enter.
So you're the Augur of Dunlane?
I am that which you have been seeking. Your efforts are in vain. It has already begun. But those who have sent you have not told you what they seek, what you
Seek.
I was told to find you.
Indeed. And so you have come looking, though you do not know why. Like others before you, you blindly follow a path to your own destruction. The Thalmor came seeking answers as well, unaware they will be his undoing. Your path now follows his, though you will arrive too late.
I'm not the first to come see you.
No, though you may be the last. The one who calls himself Ancano has sought my knowledge as well, through very different questions. Your path differs from most. You are being guided, pushed towards something. It is a good path, one untraveled by many. It is a path that can save your college. I will tell you what you need to know to follow it further.
What do I need?
You, and those aiding you, wish to know more about the Eye of Magnus. You wish to avoid the disaster of which you are not yet aware. To see through Magnus's eye without being blinded, you require his staff. Events now spiral quickly towards the inevitable center, so you must act with haste. Take this knowledge to your Archmage.
Excuse me, my friend.
Alright. I'm not gonna talk to Berlina yet.
I am in your way. I am sorry.
There's a spider behind you.
Where'd you come from? That'll teach you.
That clips through the floor. Let me do that. Alright. Midden incident report. Missing students were found in the Midden this morning, dead as expected. None of us bothered keeping a detect life charm for the search at this point. The bodies were found together, each suffering the same deformities, peeled and bubbling skin on the arms and face. Conjurer's burn, as it's commonly referred to around the college. There's little doubt they were attempting a summoning ritual well beyond their capabilities. The relic nearby put any doubt in this theory to rest. I admit that I have never seen one like it. A large segmented sculpture of a gauntlet, the Daedric sigil, emblazoned upon the palm. Attempts to move it were in vain. I must show it to Archmage Sidath during his upcoming visit. Perhaps he will know more. While we couldn't move the relic, I was able to pry 4 rings from it. I'm sure there's a connection between them and the ritual the students were attempting. I'll store these in the Arcanium until we can consult with a conjuration master to learn more. Well, I think I maybe just went around in a circle. Oh, that's okay. I always get turned around in here. Oh, this way. No, that's the way which way did I go? Missed the fire salts. Alright. Olive countenance. Okay. Maybe we'll go back the way we came.
What you learn here will last you a lifetime. Several, if you're talented.
I have important information for you.
Really? And what might that be?
We need to find the Staff of Magnus.
I'm sorry, what? Well, I'd certainly love to have such a powerful staff, but I'm not really sure that any of us need it.
It's connected to the orb we found.
And how do you know of this?
I spoke with the Augur of Dunlane. Zargo, what are you doing?
Did you really? And he specifically mentioned the Staff of Magnus? I'm impressed with your initiative. Of course, someone will need to follow up on this.
You mean me, don't you?
I certainly do. Since you went so far as to seek out the Augur for advice, I thought you'd be more enthusiastic. Something as specific and ancient as the Staff of Magnus. I'm not sure we'd ever find something like that. I seem to recall Mirabelle mentioning the staff somewhat recently. Why don't you see if she can tell you anything? I'm quite pleased with your progress, you know. You've certainly proven yourself to be more than a mere apprentice. Well done. This circlet once proved invaluable to me. I hope it can be of use to you now.
You done, Jazargo?
Jazargo has heard of the Staff of Magnus. Once you are done with it, perhaps you will allow Jazargo to borrow it.
You know what? I might just do that. Staffs have so few charges that it pisses me
Mirabelle is
off.
helpful in locating the staff.
Somebody else might as well have it.
Please don't bother the Archmage unless it's absolutely necessary. If there are any problems, let me know. It's my job to keep things running smoothly.
Do you know anything about the Staff of Magnus?
Well, now that's an odd question. Why in the world would you be asking?
Archmage Arin said you'd mentioned it recently.
I see. Well, yes, I suppose I did mention it, though I'm not sure what he expects me to tell you. I only brought it to his attention a few months back when the Synod showed up here looking for it. They were apparently under the impression we were keeping it in a closet somewhere.
Who are the Synod?
Mages based out of Cyrodiil. They fancy themselves the imperial authority on magic these last few hundred years. My understanding is that all they really do is make noise in an attempt to curry favor from the Emperor. Lots of politics, little magic. I was quite surprised to find them on our doorstep. They seemed amiable enough, but their line of questioning made me uneasy. It became clear they're trying to hoard powerful artifacts, looking to consolidate power.
So no one knows the staff's location?
No one here does. The Synod seemed convinced it was somewhere in Skyrim. They inquired about the ruins of Mizulft, but that's all I remember. It sounded like they were heading there, though they were rather secretive about why. I suppose if you're intent on looking for the staff, there's a chance they might be in Mizulft yet. Just don't expect them to be cooperative.
What else can you tell me about the Staff of Magnus?
I'm not really sure. made and used by Magnus himself, if you believe those sorts of things. I believe I've heard it said that it's the only thing that could adequately contain his power. The sort of embellishment wizards of ancient times loved to make.
What do you know about the Sigic Order?
No more than anyone else, I don't think. They're a very old order. Predated the Imperial Mages Guild by quite a bit. In fact, the Mages Guild was founded in opposition to the idea of the Sigic Order, that only an elite few should have control over magic. No one has seen or heard from them in over 100 years now, though.
Okay. Well. Let's go get us some more dwarven metal. Oh. Fan is making noise again. Fan noise is probably my cat's fault. No, she's not over by it. I don't know where she is. Actually, she might be in front of it. I just can't see her right now.
Crystal. Gone. Find Paratus. Inoculary.
She has powers of mischief. Research log. Well, why not? I might as well read some more. Attendant Gavros, the Council has become aware of the lack of progress in your group's efforts. They are particularly displeased to learn that your specifications for the focusing crystal were completely incorrect. The entire Binders Conclave has worked tirelessly, and the Council is quite sure this new crystal will suit your needs. You are herewith entrusted with delivering the crystal to the site, completing your work, and delivering a full report to the Council with all possible haste. The Council trusts you will deliver the crystal to the oculary personally, and that there will be no further complications. First Adjunct, Unral. Frostbite, what are you doing over there? Stepping in front of me is a bad idea, Jazargo. Shit.
Where'd you come from?
Their troublemaking days are over.
What's with all the green shit? It's reminding me of Bathardums. Wonder if it's flammable.
You!
No, that didn't do anything. Good, I can one-shot Charis now. Yay! Alright, now... more health is always good. I don't remember what perk I was gonna take. Already did that. I want sneak. Or... experimenter. I should do that. Then I can find out what the duck eggs and peacock feathers do. Pretty sure there was a Falmer lurking in here somewhere. Shot in the elbow. By all rights, that shouldn't have killed it, but sure, why not? I think I gotta go that way. Nothing in there. Hope I haven't missed any of the scrap metal. Alright, do I have Fortify lockpicking. I think I enchanted something. Yep.
Where'd you come from?
That's the end of that. We forgot it.
Thought about fire breathing it, but then he got in front of me. A skeleton or just bones I'm kicking around? These watery eggs are of Falmer construction. Their function is unknown, but on certain days of the year they softly glow. And that one increases heavy armor skill by 30 points for 90 seconds.
Yo! For sure!
That'll teach you to cross me.
Have at it.
Right there. What was that?
That's the end of that.
Anything over here? Only mushrooms. Okay, I have potion. Yes. Fortify 20%. Good enough. Lunar Lorcan. I took care of it. Alright, I thought there was one more in here. Frostbite, what are you doing? Now she moved to this side of the fan. I don't know why she's so fascinated with it.
Roll! Show it!
Almost missed that one.
Roll! Show it!
Shit. Get mad at me again. Okay. Well, hopefully this will be enough to get my smithing up to 100 again.
They have reached the control path.
Okay, let's see if there's anything over here. No, okay. Alright, this is almost the end of this. I'm gonna grab a drink and be right back. Alright, I'm back to it. Alright, I can never remember which door to go to first.
Nice.
Thank you. I thought there was at least one gold vein in here, but I think they're all moonstone. Hate those exploding ones. These ones are all dead already. I have what I need.
Gavros, is that you? I'd almost given up hope. Let me get the door. What the? What are you doing here? What have you done with Gavros?
Your friend Gavros is dead.
It was the Falmer, wasn't it? Curse them! They've ruined everything. If Gavros is gone, there is no hope. He was supposed to return with the crystal. Without that, all our efforts are wasted. And you, if you're here for treasure or wisdom or anything, I'm afraid you've wasted your time.
What's this about a crystal?
It didn't work the first time. I tried to tell Gavros, but he wouldn't listen. No, it won't be too cold, he said. Well, I was right, wasn't I? Focused completely wrong by the time we got here. The cold had warped it. Gavros had to cart it all the way back to Cyrodiil. Left the rest of us here to fend off the damnable Falmer.
What's the crystal for?
It was a brilliant idea, really. Mostly mine, though Gavros took the credit. Secret, though. Official Synod business. Can't talk about it.
I'm looking for the Staff of Magnus.
Are you? Well, I'm afraid I can't help you with that. I need the crystal to do anything useful, and I don't have it.
I happen to have found a focusing crystal. Is this what you were looking for?
You found... How in the world? That's it? That's it! I don't know who you are, but you may have just saved this little project. In fact, who are you anyway?
I'm with the College of Winterhold.
You are you? Savos wouldn't even grant us an audience when we came to you, but now you come here expecting something from me? I don't much like this, I'll tell you. But you saved my skin, so maybe I can overlook the past for now. Come on, I'll explain on the way. No matter what Gavros said, this was my idea first. The Council is going to know that when I get back. I was the one who thought of using this oculory. I don't know what the dwarves called it. Something unpronounceable, I'm sure. From all our research, it seems they were intent on discerning the nature of the divine. This machinery, all of it, was designed to collect starlight, and then, I'm not sure, split it somehow? It was my idea to replace one of the key elements with our focusing crystal. Months of enchantments went into it. Let's just hope they got it right this time.
Let's see, do I have flames, but I don't have frostbite.
Here it is. Magnificent, isn't it? Took an incredible amount of work to get it running again. Now I'm hoping it'll all be worth it. Place the crystal in the central apparatus, and we can start the process for focusing it.
Excuse me, my friend.
I need frostbite. Well, there should be. Oh.
Yes?
What do I do?
Now the crystal needs to be focused. It was created so far away. We knew that some adjustments would have to be made. Heating and cooling the crystal will cause it to expand or contract, which will change how the light passes through it. You'll need to use spells to do that. Being from the college, I assume you know them already. There should be a few basic tomes around here somewhere in case your training is even more substandard than I've heard.
Okay. Oh.
All right then. Years of work, finally going to pay off. But what's this? These results, they're not at all what they should be. This projection should be lit up like the night sky. Something is creating an incredible amount of interference. Something in Winterhold, it looks like. What are you playing at? Is this some attempt to stall my work? So what is it? What have you done? Did you know what we were attempting? Are you here to make sure your plan worked? That our efforts have been for nothing? Well, explain yourself.
Did something go wrong?
Go wrong? Go wrong? Everything is wrong. Everything. Whatever you have at that college has completely interfered with our work here. How did you do it?
Truly have no idea what you're talking about.
Either you're lying to me, or you have something at your college, don't you? Something immensely powerful, beyond anything I've anticipated. What is it?
You mean the Eye of Magnus?
The Eye of Magnus? Well, I suppose if that means what I think it does. Well, that's interesting.
What are you talking about?
You're looking for something, yes? The Staff of Magnus. Well, even if you are trying to ruin my work, there's still something to be learned here. I can't explain the details. That would be giving away many secrets the Synod have learned over the years. Also, I doubt you'd be able to comprehend the details. Have you seen the orrery in the Imperial City? It was the inspiration for this idea. Instead of projecting the sky, we project all of Tamriel, and then harness the latent energies to overlay the positions of... What's important is that all of this work was designed to reveal to us sources of great magical power. Purely to help safeguard the Empire, of course. And yet, in the end, only 2 locations have been revealed to us. One is your college. The other, well, that can only be Labyrinthian. So, mage from Winterhold, despite your intentions, I've beaten your little game. Even if all you've said here is lies, I know you have something in Winterhold the Synod Council will be very interested in. So fine, trudge off to Labyrinthian in search of your staff. I shall return to Cyrodiil and deliver my full report to the Council. This is not over, I assure you.
So the Staff of Magnus is in Labyrinthian?
Well, yes. Probably. I mean, yes. Certainly it is. But that doesn't matter now, because I know you're hoarding something even more important at your college. The Council will be informed of this. They will find out what you're up to.
Careful.
I think we're done here.
From anywhere.
You got what you came for, didn't you? Go then, back to your college.
You have done well thus far, but trying times are ahead. It is imperative that you return to your college at once. You will be called on to take swift action, rise to the challenge, and discover what you are capable of. You are on the right path, and you will prevail.
Right. It's not a good way to get down from here, but I think that is where I will call it for tonight. Haven't decided yet if I will be on tomorrow night or not, but